Hey everybody, I'm Michael Posnick, and today we have our special guest, which is turning out to be our usual guest, which is awesome. Powerhouse Patty, a power broker here in Prince Edward Island, both located in Charlottetown, but covering the island like the morning dew, as they say. Today we're talking about the signs of the market. And for those people that are interested in all the numbers and percentages and statistics and all that, charts and pie charts, bar graphs, this podcast is definitely not for you. We're going to put together a system here, explain a system in layman's terms of how you know what's going on in any real estate market anywhere in the world just by driving around. And I do it unconsciously. And recently it just struck me as, you know, regardless of what I'm seeing from our two main sources of information, and for those numbers people, that would be the CMHC, Canadian Home Mortgage Corporation, or CREA, Canadian Real Estate Association, which grabs their data from our Prince Edward Island MLS system, is just driving around. And when things were happening here, you'd see just let me make sure my mobile F-150 studio doesn't shut off here. Uh, as you drive around, and as I did in the past, when things were happening, you would see a for sale sign go up and a nice shiny sold sign go up a week later. Before that, the typical market in Prince Edward Island has always been a very, very strong buyer's market. And the joke back then was we should make the for sale signs out of concrete because they will rot away before the property sells, sometimes getting into years, sometimes over a decade to sell a property. You know, we'd have houses we'd list for 150 and sell for 40. It wasn't great times. It's nothing that the current agents, the new agents, have seen. Now, driving down the roads today, what you're starting to see is you're starting to see reduced signs, which means the inside joke in the industry is overpriced to begin with. Secondly, you're starting to see open houses are popping up like daisies in the spring. Open houses everywhere. Patty, maybe you can explain why we're seeing these signs and why this is a good indication as to where any real estate market is going.
So, thank you, Michael, for having me today. Um, with regards to the signs of the market or market signs, there is a definite uh, occurrence happening right now where we're seeing a lot more price reductions. And some agents will put a price reduced sign, like Michael said, out in your front lawn. I am not an advocate of it. It doesn't necessarily mean all the time that it's overpriced. Unfortunately, some sellers want to price their property on what the market was, say, last quarter, if we use it from an accounting standpoint. So last quarter, the market may have been, in this case, it would have been the spring fall market, summer, and then into the fall market, which is usually a good, strong, there's lots of buyers, excuse me, lots of activity going on. It feels or is perceived as a lot of activity. Two, we have a lot of tourists that come to the island. A lot of people, while they're here, they will dream of owning real estate. Sellers are happy because they are receiving a lot more activity, a lot more showings, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're qualified buyers or people that are going to be viewing them. Come the winter market, a lot of people will take their property off because they feel they're not going to get the same traffic, although it is probably going to be the same amount of serious traffic. It's just, it's not cushioned by the tourists that, which is good. It's good for the economy here. However, it can send a false message to a seller. So price reduce signs, a lot of that is happening. You need to be pricing your property going forward, not the market that had passed. So price reduced, and because we're in a balanced market, which is uncharted territory for the island, um, a lot of real estate professionals don't take the time to interpret the data and understand what pricing forward and backwards and buying listings and what all these terms even mean. Again, the benefit of hiring a professional. So there are a lot more open house signs. What does that mean? How could you interpret, oh, well, there's an open house this weekend. That's great. I'm going to go out and check out the property. Because sometimes, unfortunately, people look at real estate professionals like we're planters warts and you're not going to get rid of us, whereas that's not the case, or at least myself. I like to work with people that want to work with me and not chase down people that would rather not. So open houses are done for probably three reasons. One, from a real estate professional standpoint, one is to appease your seller because maybe you don't have videos, maybe you don't have the funds to pay for additional marketing and you've only used your phone and that's as best as you can. We call them 3P agents, put up a sign, put it on the MLS, take some pictures and then pray it sells. So if that's the agent you have, they're going to strongly lean on, I need access to your house. I need to do, that's what I'm going to do. That's my marketing plan. It's free aside from their time spent. So it's to appease the seller. The second reason is to try to get listings in that area by appeasing the seller's neighbors. Oh, look at this agent's doing. They're out there. They're doing open houses. That's who I want to sell my property. So it's an opportunity to passively, quietly interview a real estate professional and see how they're portraying your neighbor's property. And three, a reason a real estate professional does, or a real estate sales representative does an open house is to look for buyers. The property isn't generating leads. They have a low buyer pool, and it's an opportunity for them to get more buyers. So you're seeing more open houses because inventory is sitting longer. Sellers are getting frustrated. They want to know what's going on. Why hasn't my property sold? And these are all the things that are going on behind the scenes that are going on in the minds of the real estate professionals in our industry. So yes, inventory is sitting longer. Yes, we are, in my opinion, going to be traversing probably by next spring into a buyer's market once again. Great opportunity for first-time home buyers. They're not in multiple offers. They'll get prices, properties at a better price. It's more so for first-time home buyers or people entering into the market. Those who are selling and need to buy going forward, yeah, it sounds great. You're going to be able to, get the property going forward at a reduced price, but you're also going to get a reduced price on yours. Inventory is sitting longer. Currently, a lot of listings, I've even had a few myself, have decided to rest their listing over the winter months. They just feel they need a break. That's only going to help sell other people's properties. So I always say, keep your property on the market. If you are interested in selling, look at the signs out there, look for the price reduced, check out the open houses in your neighborhood, because it is a story. It is real estate agents, whether they realize it or not, are telling a story every day with the actions and activities that they're doing. And stats, like Michael said, just to, if you are looking for stats, you want a more hyper local. I do stats at our office. We do quarterly where we compare this year to, third quarter, say to last year, third quarter, to give you a little bit more, it's all of Summerside, say all of Charlottetown, all of Region C, which is between Summerside, Charlottetown. So we break it all down to give us a little bit better of a snapshot, and then we can go hyper local on individual areas and communities. So look for the signs that the market is telling you is happening and ask your agent. And if they don't seem to know what's going on, maybe you should reconsider.
You should always revert back to or go to the data and the hard numbers, because as real estate agents, regardless of how many hundreds of years of experience you've had, you see so many properties, so many numbers, and you got these daily bulletins flashing on your face, and Facebook messages and price reductions. And at the end of the day, you need to look at the actual sales data numbers. And that is not the active data. Anyone can put any property on the market and it's gotten worse, then it's ever been in PEI over the last few years with people putting really stupid numbers on properties and sometimes even getting them because COVID caused a lot of people to move to the island, which drove our numbers through the roof. But statistically, and when you looked at the data, they were certainly overpaying. You know, it's going to be interesting to see if the market in Prince Edward Island and elsewhere in North America corrects back to where it came from. Because real estate, in closing, if you paid attention to the markets, when the financial markets collapsed, the housing markets collapsed, housing went down. Some markets, housing went down to zero because there was no demand. It's a supply and demand market. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Thank you for coming, Patty.
Thank you.
Everybody have a great day.
Yeah.
And do you have final 2 cents?
No, it's always a pleasure, Michael. And yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully having me on next time.
Well, I don't know. I'll consider it. We've got a long list of people that want to be on this podcast. It's hitting the double digits in downloads so far.
Sounds good.
Have a great day.